Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 291. Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
How are you today?
I'm doing quite all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself.
Excellent.
Our second in-person podcast in a row.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Crazy.
I know.
I mean, we did a whole bunch of them in a row in the before times.
Well, sure, yeah.
But yeah, still working out the kinks, still getting back into the swing of it.
Yeah. As you know, exampled by my false start several minutes ago.
Right. It's fine. It happens.
I startled you, and it threw me.
I could tell it through you. You seemed like you had no idea what was happening.
Nope.
There was a look of terror in your face. Like, what have I done? How is this gonna go?
Yep. There was also a bit of, can I save this? And very quickly, no.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty much immediately evident that there was no saving it.
Not a bit, yep.
But you know, you roll with it. You go, if you had decided to stick with it, I would have stuck with it.
Yep.
We would have made it work.
I mean, from this point on, you know, just chaos reigns. So, you know, whatever happens, happens.
You mean just from whenever we start recording?
No, just
in general.
Like for the rest of this episode.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. There's no editing here.
That is, I mean, you know, chaos reigning sort of fits the theme of the movie that we watched as well.
That is true.
Which is excellent. We're joined by the Joe and Eric of an alternate Earth, where they're good podcasters. We are the Viewmasters Go versus Viewmasters.
We are. Oh boy. So I feel a little bit intimidated.
Okay.
Because you are what I would consider to be sort of a Teen Titans expert.
Okay. I consider myself an aficionado.
Yeah, I mean, I like them a lot. I have a very, very strong fondness for them, but there's a lot that I don't know or remember having read.
Sure.
And I can also say that I've never enjoyed these cartoons.
Oh, no! You know, when I picked it last week, again, there was a look on your face that was like, really? Well, okay, I guess we're going to do this.
Yeah. So when you picked the show, you said it was available on Hulu, and then I questioned that. It was like, it's not available on HBO. It is available on HBO. We watched it on that.
Right.
It is also available on Hulu. So, you know,
thank you.
Yes. So listener, dear listener, whatever your preferred format, go for it. But when I first got HBO Max, and I was just exploring, you know, everything that they had, I saw that the original Teen Titans cartoon,
right,
was on there, and I had never seen it before.
Okay.
Like, I distinctly remember it coming out. This was shortly after, Batman Beyond had definitely stopped.
Mm-hmm.
This may have been at the tail end of Justice League.
I think it was around, because Teen Titans came out in 2003.
Yeah.
I want to say Justice League started in 2001, 2002.
I think that's right.
So, like, it would have been around the same time. And I remember there was a lot of, on the message boards, a lot of angst about it not being at least clearly set in the same universe as the Justice League.
I remember that as well.
Yeah. And I felt that angst at the time.
I did too, and probably explains why I never watched an episode.
Yeah.
Until, 2 years ago when HBO Max came into existence. And I watched like 2 or 3 episodes like that first night.
Mm-hmm.
And decided that this is clearly not for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it. I have seen... I remember I started watching it when it first came on, and did not get into it.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I caught some reruns from either later in the first season or like the second or third season. And it was specifically, they were doing the Tara storyline. And it was really good. And I was like, oh, so it probably just took a little bit of time to get its bearings and then figure out what it was doing. But yeah, I remember initially being sort of put off by the tone of it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't mysterious superhero cartoons.
Right.
Like Justice League was.
Yeah. Which is why when Teen Titans Go came out, I had a very hard time trying to distinguish the two of them.
Okay.
And even as this movie started, a good 20 minutes into it, I still had no idea which version of the characters I was supposed to be watching at the time.
Both is the answer.
As far as I am concerned, they are the same cartoon.
So it's the same voice actors.
Yes.
Basically the same character design, just a different animation style.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very quickly you realize that tonally they are very different.
But are they?
I mean, I think
like just this movie tries real hard to make the differentiation that the Teen Titans
yes
are dark and serious. But that is not the tone that I remember from their cartoon.
Yeah.
Where just some scenes would just be shot in like chibi style.
Right. Yeah. Some reaction shots, stuff like that. Yeah. It starts off, and that was what I was off put by in the earlier episodes, is that, tonally it is very, like, it's a comedy, basically. And then later on, I think it does get darker, like with the Terra storyline that they refer to.
Relatively dark
storyline, yeah. So yeah, and interesting that I feel like I almost feel like in this movie they're sort of they don't really go into it, but it like, oh well, the Teen Titans Go Titans are rubbing off a little bit on the regular Titans,
right?
But also the regular Titans could have rubbed off a little bit on the Teen Titans Go Titans,
right.
But instead it just feels like the Titans Go ones remain unaffected and drag the regular Titans a bit down to their level.
Yeah. So I have seen a lot of Teen Titans Go.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when it first sort of started, like house sitting for my parents and it just being on and watching like 10 episodes in a row and just every time just wondering who in the fuck is this for? Because I was like, I mean, it's clearly for kids, but like what kid cares about the Teen Titans? And if they do, watch this and then they're like, well, what more is there? Then they're going to get very different things outside of it. And I think this is something that I brought up to you before, just in general, that I don't know, like, so I did spend the last year watching all of the episodes of Super Friends.
Awesome.
Not really.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
I mean, it was fine. But, it's not a great show.
It's not, but I love it.
That is totally fair. But even as goofy as those cartoons are, they are at least relatively faithful to what was in the comics at the time somewhat.
Sure. Yeah.
like you could at least make a distinct correlation between the two.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, I can't look at Teen Titans Go and then, like, directly point at a comic and say, well, that's the same.
Yeah, no, the Teen Titans comics that have been coming out since Teen Titans Go have been on the air, other than the ones that are specifically Teen Titans Go themed,
Right.
Are vastly different in terms of, character designs and tonally.
Yeah.
There's not really a correlation there at all beyond the name.
But yeah, so I have seen a lot of Teen Titans Go for some reason. And I also remember a couple years ago, I work at a hotel, and there was a large snowstorm. And so I had to stay at the hotel overnight for one of my shifts. And so just hanging out in my hotel room and flipping through channels, and Teen Titans Go was on. It was the only thing on. And I watched like 4 hours of it and just still flabbergasted by it. And then when the Teen Titans Go to the movies came out, this was at the height of Movie Pass, and I thought, man, what the fuck, it's free. I'll go see Teen Titans Go at the movies. And strangely enough, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is about that compared to just the regular episodes that because it felt very much the same.
Yeah.
So it confounds me that I liked that movie, and it confounds me now that I liked this movie.
Maybe you need, because the episodes are 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe you need that time because the episodes, they gotta, it's real short, so they gotta get in, and then it's just bam, 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 joke, action, joke, action, whatever.
Right.
They're singing about waffles or who knows what. So maybe you just need, maybe you need it stretched out a little bit. Maybe it's just too much for you all at once.
I need some pad time.
You do. You need some padding time. Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
So this movie had musical numbers.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be a musical.
No, I didn't either.
But, the show is, so I guess should have recognized it.
Teen Titans Go Go to the movies had some songs in it too.
Yeah.
Then I found at least one of the songs amusing. So
yeah. My own personal history with Teen Titans Go. So when I was in Seattle and I worked at my comic shop, because of course I did.
Sure.
And
how come you haven't found a comic shop to work in yet? You've been back 2 weeks.
I know. What am I doing?
You can replace Charlie Manson at Maverick.
There we go.
I know you'll wear a mask.
I would. Yeah. Anyway, so we were open 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays.
The fuck?
So honestly, okay, tangent. I found this store when I got there, and 3 out of the first 4 times that I went, it was closed.
Well, obviously.
So then I saw they had a job listing available, like on Facebook, because I followed their Facebook page, and I was like, well, hey.
Because you were trying to figure out when the fuck they were open?
Exactly, yeah. And I was like, well, hey, if I work there, I know they'll be open when I go, because I'll have a key to the store.
There you go.
It was a tiny, tiny little store, just in the back of like an office building, in a windowless, like smaller than this space that we're in here, like maybe half of this space that we're in here. What? It was a tiny, tiny store.
Wow. So clearly no back issues or anything.
Like the smallest selection of back issues, but primarily new release stuff.
Wow.
But there was the only store that I found that didn't also sell Magic cards, so I was like, this is the store that I'm going to shop at.
You know what? I support that 100%.
Yeah. So I started working there. They started being open more regular hours and building up actual clientele, and then we moved into another space that had a TV, like a bigger space that had a TV.
Because you could fit one in there.
Because we could fit one in there, yeah. And so I would go in for my shifts on Saturdays at noon, and I'd be there till 4 or 5. And I would just watch Teen Titans Go. Like, I just put it on the TV. I was like, okay, I want to have something on that's, kid friendly.
Sure.
Because I want it to be welcoming to kids.
Yeah.
And something that I don't have to pay super close attention to. And I fell in love with Teen Titans Go. So I've seen hundreds and hundreds of episodes of Teen Titans Go. And I know I haven't seen all of them.
Right, yeah. It feels like it's been going for a while, right?
Yeah. It has.
I love Dan Hipp.
Yeah.
Who I think is one of the main sort of creators, or at least visual influencers on the show.
Yeah.
And so I love the designs of Teen Titans Go, and like all the little background details.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't care for the jokes and
That's fair.
the story and the characters.
Sure. Yeah, I think the first one that I saw prior to when I watched it at the store was, I think, an episode where Beast Boy, all he said throughout the entire episode was waffles. And he just said it. And maybe Cyborg also only said waffles.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Alrighty.
It's the right balance of absurd humor that I love.
So I have seen multiple times the episode where they're like, it's like an America's Most Talented type parody.
Okay.
Where Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are like judging, like, who's going to join the Justice League, and it's like a talent show.
Okay.
And it's like a multi-part episode. It's like a full hour worth of Teen Titans Go.
I don't think I've seen that one.
and so here's my dumb sticking point with this movie, is that in that episode they clearly established that Raven has massive fucking legs.
Yeah, okay, I had that thought as well. Raven is Lady Legacy. She should have no problem walking however far. I had that thought too.
Thank you.
Like, they have to compare legs at some point,
right?
Yeah, I mean, this simple continuity stuff, guys, come on. I know that the gross feet gag it worked pretty well.
Yeah, it did.
But it's established. She's got strong legs.
So this movie's silly.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you did sort of describe it last week as like, Into the Spider-Verse for Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much exactly sort of what happens at the end.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I knew it was the two teams. Did not realize there would be more. Was delighted by it.
Also, a little bit of Endgame vibe there, too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
With the portals.
Yeah. I was not sure, like, I couldn't remember when Endgame came out, and, like, is this a reference to it, or like, two just separate thoughts, at the same time?
I don't know, yeah. Endgame was 2019.
Uh-huh.
And this movie probably came out around the same time, so probably just parallel thoughts.
It was fun.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's not winning any awards. I'm not sure that I would ever watch it again.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I would.
You know what? I probably would.
I would watch it again, if only to see all the alternate Titans teams that show up.
I did love that.
So can I go slightly deep on Titans animation?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there have been 1.5 iterations of the Teen Titans prior to the 2003 Titans cartoon.
Right.
There were 3 or 4 Filmation shorts in the 60s.
Yep.
That starred Wonder Girl, Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Speedy.
I believe I own those on DVD.
Yeah, those are included in a DVD collection.
Yeah.
They couldn't use Robin because Robin was, I don't know, rights tied up with the usage of Batman, so they just used the other ones. And Kid Flash also is in a weird, like, all red costume with yellow gloves, which I always thought was kind of neat, just as an oddity.
Sure.
And then in the 80s, so Cyborg was made part of the Super Friends,
Right.
in the last season of that show. But before that, they were developing a new Teen Titans animated series that would actually have been based on the characters' appearances in the anti-drug specials that they did, if you remember those.
I do, yeah.
So it would have been, the classic New Teen Titans lineup.
The Wolfman Perez.
The Wolfman Perez, yeah. But swapping in Protector for Robin. And there was that show never got off the ground, but there was a commercial.
Really?
An anti-drug commercial that featured the Super Friends looking Teen Titans.
Nice.
And I've only ever seen like still shots of it.
Huh.
But it looks neat, and then to see those designs sort of show up in this was really cool.
Yeah, I totally missed those.
So I've always had sort of a fascination with Titans animation,
right?
Just because like for years and years those Filmation cartoons were never available anywhere until they like I saw them. Maybe USA used to have like the Batman Superman hour or whatever, and they would show random old Super Friends and Superman and Batman cartoons then, and I saw maybe one or two of them in that, and it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then those came out on DVD and was like, oh, actually these kind of suck, but whatever.
Yeah. They totally do. And I absolutely bought it.
Right.
The first chance I got. Yeah.
But like the mystique of this sort of lost anti-drug commercial, so then when they announced the 2003 series, I was just like, oh my god, they're finally going to do a Titans animated series. Oh, is it going to be based on the old comics? Oh, this is going to be so cool. And then the first image came out, and it was of them as they look, and with like the Truth, Justice, Pizza tagline. And I was just like, no. One other slight tangent.
Go on as many tangents as you want.
We probably have talked about this during the League Night days. But in the original pitch for the Justice League animated series, it was a mixture of adult heroes and sidekicks.
Really?
So it was... I forget who all the adult heroes were, but I know Robin and Impulse and maybe Artemis.
Okay. So Young Justice.
Basically Young Justice, yeah. But I know that they were originally included in the pitch for the Justice League animated series.
Nice.
And I think there's a trailer or like a sort of promo pilot thing that they did to get it greenlit that has, the Bruce Timm style animated, Robin and Impulse and Arrowette or Artemis or whatever alongside the Justice League, and that's always struck me as really cool too. Like, Impulse could have been on that show. That would have been so cool.
If we did ever talk about that, I clearly don't remember that.
It would have been like 10 years ago.
It was a long time ago, and I have a terrible memory. I have still yet to watch more than like 6 episodes of the Young Justice cartoon.
Okay. I've watched a lot of Young Justice.
Yeah.
It sort of grew on me.
Yeah, I know you had problems with it when it first came out.
Yeah, I was whelmed by it originally. But no, it did grow on me. And I feel like there's the invasion season that they did was really good. And then for some reason when they revived it on HBO Max, like I tried to watch that season, and it was so annoying. Like they introduced some new characters, and they're just the most annoying characters. So I gave up on it again.
And I know, at least I sort of vaguely remember, you kind of got into the Titans TV show, didn't you?
I've watched the first season, and a little bit of the second season.
Okay.
So not super into it. Like it's I like it the way that I like the CW shows.
Sure.
Which is begrudgingly at this point. But yeah, I haven't watched past maybe like the midway point of the second season of that.
I watched the first episode and just because I had seen the trailer with the fuck Batman.
Of course,
you know? And I was like, and so it was more just morbid curiosity that I wanted to see that first episode, and I felt like I got exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
This is just not for me. So,
yeah. No, it's
never gone back.
It's not great.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining. It was a show that I would put on while I was doing other things.
Yeah. But that was not this movie, and those versions did not show up.
I kind of wanted them to.
I kind of thought maybe,
Like we do see the direct-to-video movie versions of the Titans, which I was not expecting, and that was awesome.
I was sort of expecting it because there was a quick shot in the opening credits where there was like a silhouette of Nightwing.
There was, yes.
And so I was like, something's going to happen there.
Yeah, I thought it would be. So there's at least one episode of the Teen Titans series that's like a flash forward.
Okay.
Where Robin has become Nightwing, and it's basically the new Batman adventures.
Okay.
Like he's got the mullet and everything. So I thought maybe there'd be some sort of time travel involved. I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah. So the plot of this thing is that Trigon, who was Raven's dad,
yes,
from the Teen Titans Go Earth, teams up with the Trigon from the Teen Titans Earth to steal the demon that lives inside of Raven and her powers to bring Teen Titans Trigon to full power,
right,
and then take over the multiverse.
Yes,
and then there's a ruse where Trigon from Go Trigon, Gogon,
or Trigo.
I like Trigo.
Okay,
yeah. He disguises himself as the Game Master?
The Master of Games.
The Master of Games.
So as not to infringe on Marvel copyright.
Sure.
There's a Games Master villain, I think, in the Marvel Universe.
I know of Arcade.
Yeah. He was, if I remember right, a big part of the JLA Avengers crossover.
Oh, okay. I still have not read it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Someday. Anyway.
Yeah.
You have all the issues now, right?
I do.
Get off your ass.
Fine. Jesus. Well, now I'm bitter because I can't get the hardcover.
It's a soft cover.
Whatever.
I guess there is a hardcover, too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I thought the one that Heroes Initiative was releasing was a hardcover.
It's a soft cover.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck them then.
There was a hardcover, like a absolute
I remember that
came out years and years ago. But yeah, no, the new one's just a soft cover.
Yeah,
I imagine too that was probably printing just what they were able to get at the time.
Probably.
So yeah. Anyway,
anywho, So he disguises himself as the Master of Games, and under the ruse that he is looking for the best champion of every hero,
right?
The best version of every hero. So he forces the two Titans teams to fight each other, and then hilarity ensues.
Basically, yeah, yeah. That's a pretty succinct description. Yeah. I enjoyed the prominence of the Whirligog in this story.
I cracked an inner smile.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. It's like. That's a reference I get.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I was like, that is the thing Grant Morrison came up with.
Yeah.
Our man.
Oh, yeah, he did have the Whirligog, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Tyler, the robot.
Right. The good Our Man.
Yeah. The best Our Man.
Yeah, I would buy an omnibus collection of that series in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't because I have all the issues, but I echo the sentiment.
I have all the issues as well. I still just like a hardcover.
All right. Fair. Yeah, that's a character that is too ignored.
Yeah.
Bring him back, DC.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Johns killed him off, if I remember right.
Fuck Jeff Johns.
Anyway. Yeah, it's like, I realized as we were watching it that it's hard to talk about a comedy.
It is. Which sucks because, like, I would like to watch more comedies for the show.
Yeah.
But it is, it's, I don't know why. Why is it so hard to talk about comedies?
Because, like, it's dissecting jokes. Or, like when someone tells you about a joke. Or, you know, it's just hard. You gotta be there. You gotta experience it for yourself.
And it is, I guess, more subjective than anything else.
Yeah.
You and I share a similar sense of humor, but, somebody else would watch this and not find any of it funny.
Yeah.
Whether they were a comic fan or not.
Right.
Okay, fair point.
But we both laughed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Throughout this movie. Which is after the reaction from you last week. And also at the beginning of the movie, there's the little WB animation logo, and Daffy Duck being crazy on screen. And then when that was over, you looked at me and said, so that's going to be the best part of this movie, right? And I was just like, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
I mean, it still was.
Was it?
Listen, I love Daffy Duck.
All right, that's fair.
I get excited whenever he shows up anywhere.
All right. That's fair.
Especially if he's the crazy Daffy Duck and not just the conniving Daffy Duck.
Right. Okay. I'll give you that.
One of the things that I sort of just, turn on in the background is old Looney Tunes cartoons.
Nice.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a fan. It's... you're dead on about the comedy thing. It's we laughed.
So I do want to talk about the story a little bit.
Okay,
because ultimately it's a story about Raven accepting this part of herself that she has denied for a long time, and it thinking about it. Growing up, I never really liked Raven.
I remember us having conversations a long time ago about you just disliking her.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was, but I think that I saw a little too much of myself in Raven. Like, there's a dark side, and she was always tortured by it, and
you have great legs.
And I have great legs. They call me Mr. Legasus, and I think that was off-putting to me, on an unconscious level for a long time.
All right.
But as I grew up and as I went to therapy and got comfortable with myself and the the facets of myself that I was trying to ignore or push down in the past, I see a lot of myself in Raven. It's weird. Like there's a part in the Scott Pilgrim books. Have you read those?
Yes.
Okay, so there's Nega Scott.
Yeah.
Which is like all of the negative aspects of Scott that he is personified into this other thing. And then there's a part in the 6th book where he basically is like, no, I have to accept that this is a part of myself, and then he absorbs Nega Scott. That's sort of what happens in this movie too.
Yeah.
Is Raven absorbs the demon part of herself, and sort of becomes actualized in that way. And I really I related to that, and I saw a lot of myself in it, and I have a new appreciation for Raven. I think seeing that struggle laid out this way resonated with me more than it did in the original comics.
All right.
Like in the original comics, to me, it was just like, Demon Dad, oh, darkness keeping it at bay all the time. And like, no, I just wanted to see Robin and Kid Flash, beat up Hive or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah.
I feel like, those comics, and it's been decades since I've read them, and the Raven character in those comics is very, very self-serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is the epitome of sort of 80s dark, struggling, character.
Yeah.
Whereas this is... It's like the spoonful of sugar,
Yeah.
It is, caked in comedy and goofiness and wackiness with some heart in there, and I think that does go down better than just having just grim and gritty laid bare,
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. And listen, I like Marv Wolfman. I definitely respect his work. He is a legend of the comic industry for a reason. But also, at the time he was writing those, he was probably like a, middle-aged, man. Whereas, the cartoon probably has a more diverse writing staff and notes.
Yeah.
And coming from a different, generational point of view of how to handle things like that, that just, Marv Wolfman just probably not able to get a grasp on.
Yeah, part of it too is probably just that those comics, the writing on those comics is pretty dated at this point.
Yeah,
so
I struggle reading old comics, unfortunately, which sucks because growing up I devoured them.
Yeah,
but going back to them now, I'm just like, oh, these are so overwrought and just pulling at like every cliche and it's hard.
Yeah. Fun fact: one of the writers of this movie currently writing The Flash.
The comic?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sean Lewis, I believe is his name.
Huh. Okay. The most recent Flash I've read is by Jeremy Adams.
Oh, Jeremy Adams. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Sean Lewis? I don't know what I'm thinking of.
No idea.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm not just totally misspeaking now.
Okay. I mean, maybe Sean Lewis is the new writer on The Flash.
I don't think so. I think it's still, yeah. Vamp.
I will say, I have not really been enjoying the current run on The Flash.
It is Jeremy Adams who wrote this movie.
So, sorry, Jeremy.
I like that he's... I mostly like the Animal Man connection that he's making.
Like when Maxine Baker showed up, I got real excited. For no reason that I can really, enunciate, but that was hey. Yeah.
When I was writing Flash fan fiction, I always wanted to do stories where like Wally and Linda made other couple friends who were superheroes. So, like, maybe they have dinner with Lois and Clark one day.
Sure.
And then, Buddy and Ellen could have been their couple friends as well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stable couple relationships in comics.
No, not really. It's a little sad.
A little bit.
Yeah. I always, I never actually wrote fan fiction, but I always thought about how if I ever got the opportunity to write like a Superman or Batman comic, I would primarily just want to write about just how like Bruce and Clark just hang out together sometimes. And they're just friends.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
I just want them to be friends, goddammit.
World's finest.
Yep, hopefully.
I haven't read it yet, but I read the preview and I loved it.
Same.
Anyway.
Yeah. I still don't care for Raven that much.
That's fair.
I think she's an interesting looking character, but beyond the visuals of her, like, I don't, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
And also just Beast Boy's just always been annoying to me. And also his name is Changeling.
Yeah. Yeah, still not over that.
Nope.
Another Jeff Johns fantastic thing is changing his name back to Beast Boy. He's in his 20s.
Yep. But like I was a big fan of the Titans comics, and those did stick with me somewhat. But I read those later in life. My late teens, early 20s. So those I think have colored what I think the Titans should be.
Sure.
And it's hard for me to deviate from that. So the fact that I did enjoy this movie as much as I did is a testament to how sharp the writing was, and just how goofy and fun it was.
Yeah, and maybe a sign of some personal growth.
Nah,
no, okay,
no, yeah. God forbid.
I know.
See, unlike you, Joe, I have not accepted my darker self. I am still at odds.
I get it. It's a tough journey. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This movie was great. I loved it.
It was a lot of fun. If you just want to laugh.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for picking it. I probably would not have ever watched it otherwise. So
I'm glad that I could bring this into both of our lives.
And I struggled through the musical numbers, but at least the second one pointed out that it was not there for any reason.
Right.
And then the first one was amusing enough that I could get over myself. So
I was glad that we had the subtitles on, because otherwise I would not have had any idea what they were saying, because they were I guess rapping very quickly.
Yeah. See?
So yeah,
subtitles.
Well done, old man Sean Bourne.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Do you have anything else to say about that?
No, not really.
I think I'm good too.
All right. Oh, Santa Claus.
Yes.
Stealth Christmas movie.
Yes.
Did not see it coming.
I was disappointed that the Tooth Fairy also did not show up. Are you familiar with the Teen Titans Go Tooth Fairy?
No.
He is a creepy little dude who eats teeth.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's upsetting.
No.
It is horrible. And he frequently just ends sentences with weird noises. It's worth looking up if you've never seen him before.
Alrighty. I'll have to check that out. I'm also going to check out that, see if I can find that Teen Titans commercial that you talked about.
Good luck with that. If you find it, send it to me.
Alright.
I hope it's not just on YouTube and I've never seen it. What an idiot.
Like a year or two ago, somebody posted on Twitter this, I forget what it was a commercial for. I think there were actually two separate ones, a Superman one and a Batman one. And just had like the most lush animation I'd ever seen. It was like from the late 80s. And it was just like, oh my god, I want full episodes of this.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what the hell they were for, but
I would love to see those too.
Yeah, check them out. Scroll through my Twitter feed from 2.5 years ago, and then because I believe I retweeted it. So
okay, excellent.
And I never tweeted a lot, so it should be easy to find.
It was just once a week you came on to promote a podcast.
Yep, certainly didn't sit for hours at a hotel by myself just tweeting my random thoughts as they came to me.
It sounds like a lot of fun to scroll through 2 years worth of your tweets, let me tell you, to look for one thing that you retweeted.
Sure, I was never depressed or anything while I tweeted, so it was all fun and games.
Awesome. Oh, what's making you happy this week, Eric?
So the thing that's making me happy this week, or that brought me joy, was that So a couple weeks ago, I decided that I wanted to read Robert Bloch's Psycho.
Okay.
Which the Alfred Hitchcock movie was based on.
Yeah.
I had never read the book. I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to find it. I've been trying to get into more books lately.
Okay.
And audiobooks have helped, but there are no audiobooks for Psycho, so I just read the actual book. But it was short, thankfully. And I got through it pretty quickly. And so one day last week, I was sitting on the couch reading it with my girlfriend, while she was doing work. And she
reading aloud to her, I assume.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
I am not that guy.
Listen to this passage.
Although
Norman pulled the curtain back abruptly.
No, well, that's a spoiler.
Oh, fuck. Well, no, it's a flashback. Once you know, all the crimes are presented in flashback.
Okay, all right.
My understanding. I've never read it. Alfred Hitchcock bought all the copies, so I could never find them.
Okay, all right. So anyway, I was reading it, and she was asking me how it was, and I was like, it's good. And the movie is like really faithful. I was surprised how faithful it was. It's like, and it's weird. Like once you know the twist, reading the book, and like knowing beforehand how it's going to go. And she's like, because, the mother does all the killing, right? I said, what? She's like, well, that's the twist of the book, or the movie, is that, it turns out the mom is the one who, like, was killing everybody. It's like, so you've never seen Psycho? I said, no. I said, okay, I'm adding it to our list.
Nice.
So last night we watched Psycho.
That's awesome.
And I was so excited because I just assumed that whether you'd seen it or not, you just knew.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's just one of those things, like Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's dad.
Yeah.
Just everybody knows this. You're just sort of born with this information now. Like just you are just by osmosis, you just know that Norman Bates is actually the mother.
Yeah.
Spoilers
for How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. That would have been a much better ending.
And then Ted dies.
Yes.
And then all the storytelling was a Jacob Ladder scenario.
So we watched Psycho, and it was her first time ever, and it was my first time in probably like 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I was honestly surprised for myself just how well it really sort of maintains the illusion and just keeps the tension up throughout, like even knowing like where it's going eventually. Like I was shocked by just how strong it actually is. And of course she, like, when the reveal happens of like Mother's corpse, she was like, oh!
That's awesome.
And it was just so satisfying.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Or not hilarious. I was thinking about, I remember the first time I saw it, and the image of Norman running in with the wig on is kind of hilarious.
It kind of is, yeah.
But no, that's awesome that she was legitimately surprised by it. That's great.
There are like a couple of movies that I really want her to watch. I haven't put them on our we have a list. I think I've talked about it. It's movies that both she and I have never seen that we're just gonna force upon each other, in a good way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And there are a couple of movies I have not added to the list, but I really want to, because I know for a fact that she hasn't seen them, and I know, but like it's one of those things. She is one of these people who, if I say, hey, I'm going to put this on the list, she's going to look it up. Okay. And I don't want her to.
Yeah.
Because that will
spoil it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But like, I really want to experience through someone like, something like that with Psycho, just like how could you not have known this? And here it is. And you're going to experience this for the first time. That said, we watch Taskmaster occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
So we were eating dinner. I was like, "You want to watch a Taskmaster?" She said, "Sure." And I turned it on. And in one of the segments, one of the contestants dressed up like an old lady with a wig and attacked like the host with a water hose.
Okay.
And was just cackling maniacally. And I was just like, "Oh, fuck."
Is it going to spoil it?
Yeah. And it got through the segment, and then it was fine. But then at the end of the episode, they referenced Psycho.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Oh, fuck." But she still didn't get it, so
yeah.
A+.
Nice. That's excellent.
What about you, sir?
Oh boy. I don't know. Nothing as fun as that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You had Casanos today for the first time.
I did. Oh,
however many years.
So the act of eating it was not the thing that brought me joy, but I had the Batman calzone from Little Caesars yesterday, and it was an experience. And I did not enjoy it, but I did write about it, which I enjoyed very much. So, I guess indirectly the Batman calzone from Little Caesars is the thing that's bringing me joy this week.
You sent me the link to your article yesterday, or was it this morning?
It was this morning, yeah, I went up today.
And because I'm no longer on social media, so I no longer know when you do things. So I appreciate you just forwarding me the good ones.
Absolutely.
Just enjoyed the hell out of it, and felt your pain. It was palpable.
It seems to have been better received than the DC Roundup that I wrote last week as a conversation between Harvey Dent and Two-Face.
I enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. It was stupid.
Yeah.
And it was done on super short notice, and I met my deadline. But by and large, the commenters did not care for it.
They can all go fuck themselves. I know you can't say that, but I will.
All right. I appreciate it.
I don't work for the Beat, so fuck those commenters.
You're my proxy in this battle, and I appreciate it.
Wasn't there also something else that you wrote where it was clearly a joke, and people didn't get it?
Probably. It happens pretty frequently. Oh, was it? It was. I wrote a reaction to the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer,
that was it.
Wondering why they were doing a Ghostbusters sequel without any of the original characters. Where was Kristen Wiig? Where was Melissa McCarthy? Where was Leslie Jones?
That was it. That was the one.
Yeah. That was a fun one. Oh boy. Do you have a movie in mind for next week?
I have several movies in mind. But you mentioned one earlier today, and I think that is the one I'm going to go with.
Okay.
Because so this is a movie I own on Blu-ray. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere or not.
Okay.
I guess I can't find out because I don't have my phone.
I'll look.
But since you are now at least coming here in person, I can subject you to my own personal collection.
Yeah, yay. Yay.
And I guess continuing on with our comic book superhero themed streak that we're going on, I really am leaning now towards let's watch the 1990,
1990, I believe.
Yeah. Dick Tracy movie.
Excellent. That's awesome. That's a movie that I know I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
And never again. So I'm excited to rewatch it. I did look. Unfortunately, it does not look like it's streaming anywhere.
All right.
Maybe available for rental, probably, or from your public library.
Probably, or, via other means.
Or other means, yes.
Or, hey, if, give me some advance warning, you want to come over and watch it with us, more the merrier.
Yeah.
You get to have Chaco on your lap.
That could be nice, if he doesn't attack you.
Yeah. It's funny because I was actually having sort of a difficult time. I had pretty much cemented what my next pick was going to be until you mentioned Dick Tracy. But before that, I was just like, well, maybe we should continue this like weird comic book run we're on. And I was like, The Shadow or Rocketeer. But once you mentioned Dick Tracy this evening, I decided yes, okay, here we go.
That's excellent.
Yeah. I saw it in the theater. I have seen it probably in the last 10 years, but it has been a while, and I want to watch it again.
Awesome. Excellent.
It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah. All right, Dick Tracy.
Sweet. We will talk about that next week.
Sounds good. See you then.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.